Today, we're looking into some more essential unlockables from quests. Some of these are awesome gear upgrades, but I've also included some permanent unlocks that will be available on your character regardless of what gear you're wearing. Lots of these unlocks will give you a flat damage and defensive increase, but others provide a utility that will change the way you play the game. First on our list are the legendary Barrows Gloves. To obtain these, you'll need to tackle the Recipe for Disaster quest. This quest is built up of a few subquests, but to get the Barrows Gloves, you'll need to complete them all. On the way, you'll also unlock gloves from Bronze tier all the way to Dragon. These are a decent stopgap, but why are the Barrows Gloves such a staple in the progress of any RuneScape account? Well, they have great stats for all three attack styles, only being one tier away from the best in slot for ranged, magic and melee. Whether you're training in your combat stats or taking on some big bosses, Barrows Gloves are great for if you can't afford the best in slot, or if you need a versatile set of gloves where multiple attack styles are required. For the small price of 130k, you can pick them up from the Culinaromancer's chest under Lumbridge Castle. Now, let's talk magic. By completing quests like Desert Treasure, Lunar Diplomacy, or visiting Tis in Korend, you unlock Ancient, Lunar, or the Arceuus Spellbooks respectively. These spellbooks offer a wide range of powerful spells with diverse effects. Whether you're PvPing, PvMing, or just need some utility spells, these magic abilities will give you some great options for diversifying your approaches to all aspects of the game. Ancient Magicks offer powerful offensive spells, freezing your enemies, stealing their health, or reducing their stats. The best thing about it, however, is the burst and barrage spells, hitting enemies in a 3x3 area of effect grid. The Lunar Spellbook focuses more on utility, like being able to make glass without a furnace or remotely communicate with certain NPCs. It's also got the iconic Vengeance spell, which recoils damage to your attacker, very popular in PvP. Although it's initially unlocked from Lunar Diplomacy, you'll also need to complete Dream Mentor to make the most of the spellbook. The final spellbook is the Arceuus Spellbook. Brand new accounts can access the spellbook, but you need to complete the quest A Kingdom Divided to make the most of it. Its primary usage is for summoning thralls. These deal a little bit of consistent damage to your enemies, and it's slowly becoming the meta choice in a lot of PvM content. It also has a lot of niche attack spells like the Demon Bane spells, causing extra damage to their appropriate enemy type, and the Grasp spells, which have a chance of binding your target. It's also got the reanimation spells, which are a great prayer training method for Iron Men. All of these spellbooks have their uses, so get them unlocked ASAP to make the most of them. Next up, we're heading to the Fremennik Isles for the Helm of Neitiznot. Completing this quest unlocks this stylish headwear as a free reward. The Neitiznot helm requires a defense level of 55, offering solid defense, as well as a prayer and strength bonus. It's essential for any melee setup. If you want to take it to the next level, you can complete the Fremennik Exiles quest to unlock the ability to wield the Neitiznot Face Guard. To make the Face Guard, however, you're going to need to either kill a lot of Basilisk Knights for the elusive Jaw Drop, or purchase one from the Grand Exchange for some big money. It's a top tier helmet, so it's worth it in the long run. For a great offensive and defensive boost, the Chivalry and Piety prayers are your ticket to dominating as long as you have the prayer points. You'll need to complete the King's Ransom quest and the Night Waves minigame to unlock both of these prayers. Chivalry is pretty good if you have a lower prayer level, but Piety takes it up a notch, requiring 70 prayer. Piety's melee stat boosts are massive. It provides a 25% boost to a player's defense, a 23% boost to a player's strength, and a 20% boost to a player's attack. These prayers are indispensable for high-level combat and boss fights, giving you the edge you need to emerge victorious. The ranged and magic equivalents, Rigor and Augury, are locked behind prayer scrolls received as a drop from the raid Chambers of Xeric. You can buy these from other players, but they're pretty expensive. Rigor in particular is a huge boost to range performance. Speaking of prayer points, look no further than the Proselyte Armour. After completing the Slug Menace quest, this armour set becomes available, offering a significant prayer bonus alongside reasonable defence. It's very cheap to purchase after the quest, and really useful for fights where you're primarily reliant on conserving your prayer points. It's almost essential for levelling Slayer proficiently. Take a trip to the Catacombs of Korend and you'll no doubt see everyone kitted out in this effective armour set. The mediocre defense bonus is nothing to worry about, as you'll always have your protection prayers overhead when using this set. If you need some heavy firepower, then the Dwarf Multi-Cannon is your answer. Complete the Dwarf Cannon quest and you'll have access to this beastly range weapon. You can purchase it from Nilodion near Ice Mountain for 750k. The Dwarf multi-cannon can be assembled all over RuneScape with a few restrictions such as all of the raids, certain bosses and some mini-game or general training areas. The cannon has a max hit of 30 and can fire a cannonball every single game tick if there are enough enemies around. This is some pretty big damage per second, so naturally it gives you reduced ranged experience. With no stat requirements, the Dwarf Cannon is perfect for Slayer tasks or general range training, raining destruction upon your enemies with its rapid fire shots. It's worth taking against most enemies where it's deployable, but it's even more effective in a multi-combat area. It's also crucial if you're trying to build a niche account with low HP, as the cannon gives no HP experience. Last but not least, we have the Salve Amulet, unlocked by completing the Haunted Mine quest. The vanilla Salve Amulet gives you a 16.67% increase in attack and strength when fighting undead enemies, making it the obvious choice for attacking zombies, ghosts, skeletons and the like. It can be enhanced further by completing the Tarn's Lair mini-quest, and also by imbuing it with points from Nightmare Zone or Soul Wars. Enchanting it with Tarn's Diary increases its boosts to 20%, and imbuing it with the minigame points will make the bonuses apply to ranged and magic attack styles too. It sees usage in the Theatre of Blood against Pestilent Bloat and against Vorkath, the repeatable Dragon Slayer 2 boss. It's also very powerful against Revenants if you're willing to brave the wilderness to earn your GP. If you've watched this far, please hit those like and subscribe buttons, it really boosts my visibility. The more traction my videos get, the more we can help the noobs reach the endgame and the more people we'll have to raid with. That's it from me today though, a guide to some of the most useful unlocks from quests in Old School RuneScape. From legendary weapons to mystical spells, these treasures will elevate your gameplay to new heights. Thanks for joining me today, until next time, happy questing.